Hello and welcome to CATEX TV. Today is Friday the 7th of March. A NATO air raid in eastern Afghanistan has accidentally killed 5 Afghan soldiers, according to officials. NATO offered its condolences for yesterday's deaths and pledged action to avoid further mistakes, but President Hamid Karzai has often seized on botched raids to launch bitter criticism of the international military effort in Afghanistan. Kali Kamal, the district governor of Sharqa, told the AFP news agency he had visited the site of the attack, which he said was from a US drone. Russia and the US are still stuck in a stalemate on Ukraine, but relations between the two countries should not be sacrificed because of their differences, Vladimir Putin has said after a phone call with Barack Obama. President Putin's remarks were carried in a Kremlin statement issued this morning following last night's telephone call with President Obama, according to the Reuters news agency. The statement said the discussion revealed the differences in approaches and assessments of the current crisis and the current situation. During the 1-hour phone call, the US leader urged his Russian counterpart to engage with diplomatic efforts to defuse a crisis that began with anti-government protests in November and this week escalated with the threat of secession in the strategically important peninsula of Crimea after armed men seized government buildings and military installations. Yesterday, Crimea's parliament voted unanimously in favor of joining the Russian Federation. A referendum asking whether the peninsula should retain ties with Kiev or join the Federation is due to take place on March the 16th. Former Lloyd's chief executive Nick Prettejohn has stepped down from the board of the UK Prudential Regulation Authority less than a year after being appointed, according to the regulator today. Prettejohn, who joined the PRA board in June last year, is leaving immediately to pursue future outside regulation, the regulator said in a statement without providing further details. Mark Carney, the Bank of England governor and chairman of the PRA board, said, "I want to thank Nick for all his insights and advice since joining the PRA board." Prettejohn has also been chairman of Prettejohn and previously ran life insurer Prudential's UK and European operations, was the UK's most senior regulatory official with an insurance industry background. His appointment came after sustained lobbying by senior London market executives who felt that the industry lacked sufficient representation at a senior level in the UK's regulatory hierarchy. The PRA, tasked with monitoring the stability of the financial system, and the Financial Conduct Authority, responsible for policing financial firms' day-to-day dealings, replaced the Financial Services Authority in April last year. Prettejohn held the chief executive role at Lloyds between 1999 and 2005. National Interstate founder and independent director Alan Spackman has launched a lawsuit against the company, its non-independent directors, American Financial Group, and its Great American subsidiary over what he alleges is a coercive tender offer for the US insurer. The March 5th complaint filed by Spackman in the US District Court for the Northern District of Ohio claims that the tender offer was orchestrated by the American Financial Group to buy National Interstate's outstanding public shares through a flawed process on the basis of misleading disclosures. A $30 a share offer raised from an initial $28 share offer is at an unfair price and has been made with the benefit of highly material inside information that American Financial Group and Great American are deliberately withholding from National Interstate's public shareholders, it alleges. This was reported by the Insurance Insider. And finally, a passenger plane flying from Lebanon to Iraq turned back after the Iraqi transport minister's son missed the flight and phoned Baghdad to stop the aircraft from landing, according to Middle East Airlines. Mr. Salah, the acting chairman of MEA, told Reuters news agency that the flight scheduled to leave at 10:40 GMT yesterday had been delayed for 6 minutes while MEA staff looked for Mahdi Al-Amiri, son of Hadi Al-Amiri, and his friend in the business lounge. The chairman said, "We made the necessary announcements of the last calls, but the plane took off. But one of the passengers turned out to be the son of the Minister of Iraq." The chairman said that when Amiri arrived at the gate, he was very angry and said, "I will not allow the plane to land in Baghdad. 21 minutes into the flight, the Baghdad airport station manager called MEA operations to tell them there was no clearance to land. The plane then returned to Beirut and the passengers disembarked. Mr. Salah said it's very disturbing because this is pure nepotism, adding that he hoped to resume flights to Iraq today. The Transport Minister Hadi Al-Amiri is head of the Badr organization, once an armed fighter group and a political ally of Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. Iraq's Transport Ministry confirmed the airliner had been turned around, but it said it was due to airport cleaning and that the minister's son had not been due to be a passenger on the flight. Well, that's all from us today. We'll be back with you next week. Thank you and goodbye.